Hello, all you lovely people, and welcome to another video of mine. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the XPG Gammix S70 Blade. Now, this is a Gen 4x4 SSD that I have purchased for my PlayStation 5. Now, the PlayStation 5 unfortunately does not even come with 1 TB of storage. And once you start installing those games of yours, you are definitely going to find yourself running short on storage. And therefore, this. Now, this, by the way, has read speeds up to 7400 MB per second and write speed of up to 6800 MB per second. So, therefore, it is one of those SSDs that you can get for your PlayStation 5. What is the real world performance? I'm not going to do a lot of synthetic tests because, hey, I'm not really a fan of synthetic tests. When I make these videos, would just like to share my real world experience when it comes to playing these games on this XPG SSD. So that's what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to install this on my PlayStation 5. I'm going to show you how, and I'm going to answer some questions whether it comes with a heatsink or whether it does not come with a heatsink. And even if there is a heatsink, is that enough for your PlayStation 5? So you are going to get answers to all those questions in this video apart from the real world experience of mine. So with that said, let's get started, folks. Like every other video of mine, the first thing that I want to do is focus on what's written on the box. Now, as you can see, the very first thing that will flash on the box is that it works with PS5. Now, they want to highlight that this is an SSD which is specifically probably made for PlayStation 5. Now, the model number is the Gammix S70 Blade. It's a M.2 2280 PCIe Gen 4x4 SSD. Now, this is PCI 4.0 and it's got SLC caching, advanced LDPC, and there is an optional heatsink included in the box. So it says an optional heatsink is also here. So just thought I'll let you guys know about it. When you turn the box around, there's some information about it here, like max performance, read speed of up to 7400 MB per second, write speed up to 6800 MB per second. We're going to find out how this performs, and there's some pricing information here. Here in India, the box price is listed as 23,499. Now, I don't I don't know, why they've listed such a high price, because online you can easily get this for less than 6,500 Indian rupees. So that's a really, really good deal considering the speed that you're getting, which is 7400 MB per second and write speed of around 6800 MB per second. Now, that's as far as what's written on the box. Now, as far as the capacity goes, this is the 1 terabyte storage. So I bought this for around 6300 something on Amazon. I'm going to put up the link in the description box as well. In case you want to purchase this, you can purchase it from there. So it clearly shows that it comes along with a heatsink. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the box. This was an open box delivery because I purchased this on Flipkart here in India. When you purchase items like this, the delivery person who comes to deliver the item comes and opens the box just to make sure that you have got all the right things inside the box. So it's a simple unboxing process. There's nothing else here in the box, not even a booklet, nothing. It's completely empty, as you can see. The only thing that you have in the box is the SSD, and there's this heatsink. So here you go, a simple heatsink. A lot of people have really been curious about, is this going to be enough? And if you read the user comments, well, it is enough. And here is the SSD itself, very slim. Let's get this out of the box as well. Let's keep it here. And this one, let's take this out of the box as well. So this is the SSD. So how do you take the panel of your PlayStation 5? Well, this is the logo here. You've got to lift the logo and push it down. You've got to lift this part and push it down. So this is what will open up the panel on one side. Up, there you have it. So here, don't open up the section which has your PlayStation logo. All right, if you want to put the SSD, it's the opposite section. That's the first thing that I want to say. Now here is your SSD compartment, and this is where your SSD is going to go in. Again, like I mentioned, you need to have the right tools to be able to open it up. So don't put in the wrong screwdriver or anything like that, because what will happen is you will damage the thread of the seam, you could say, of this particular screw. And later on, if you want to open it up again, you may find it a little difficult. So, all right, now that I've got that screw off, let's try to take this off. There is, okay. So this is where your SSD is going to slide in, and how this is going to slide in is this way. All right. Okay. There's an important point that I want to mention is that when you check your SSD compartment, I'm just going to bring this a little closer so that you can take a look at it from here. Just take a look at this particular screw. It's at 110. Now what you need to do is when you're installing an SSD, which is of this size, you need to make sure that you first unscrew this, and you unscrew this and put it on this 80, because if you look at the size of this SSD, when you place it here, this screw will most likely come right at this 80 mark. Yeah, so you've got to make sure that you unscrew this particular screw first, because it's then going to be moved or shifted over here. So that's what we are going to do first. But before I finally put this screw in again, so before I put this screw in, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the SSD facing this way, and I'm going to slide it in now. So I'm going to slide the SSD here. See, when you put this in, always make sure you're putting it in diagonally. That way, you'll be able to hear a click. Let me just show you. Now, obviously the mic will not be able to capture, what I'm trying to explain, but let me show you what I mean exactly. I take this off and I don't put it flat like this. I tilt it a little bit. So when I tilt it a little, you hear that click. I don't know whether you did. So now when you put it down, you see, you are finally gonna screw this in. And make sure you're not screwing it in very tight, because in case you want to open it up in the future, then that might be a problem. So here you go. Perfect. Voila. So you see, this is slotted in perfectly now. You see that? So we know that we are good. So now the final stage is putting in the heatsink. So that's what we're going to apply now. Now putting in the heatsink is rather simple, because all you got to do is make sure that this section goes here like this. So instead, it would have made sense for me to record this video this way, but I'm just going to show it here. Hold on. So now that I bought it here, I am just going to zoom out a little bit, and I'm going to show you this. So now I'm going to apply the heatsink like this. Slot it in, screw in, and now just take off this paste here like this. And now we are going to slot in the heatsink. Now it's very important that you get the heatsink, because this is what is going to cool the system at the end of the day. So I hope I've got it right. Yep, more or less. Yep. So now that the heatsink is on, what we're going to do is we're going to seal the system, and we're going to plug this in, and now we are going to see how this performs. So the heatsink is on here. Let's put this back in. Screw this big boy up, and we're all set to go. You finally turn it on. Hopefully we've done everything right. To use your M2.SSD, you need to format it. When you format your M2.SSD, all data on it will be deleted. If you want to continue using your PS5 without formatting your M2.SSD, turn off your PS5 and then remove your M.2 SSD. Note that saved data, screenshots and video clips can't be saved in M.2 SSD storage. No problemo. So what we're going to do is we want to format, because we want to use this as one of the internal storage. So what we got to do is format the M.2 SSD. Now it's going to take some time, not very long, hopefully, and you will be able to find out how this works. So once this is completely formatted, it will show up in your storage section as well. So here, as you can see, this is one of the ways how you can find out the speed of your SSD. So the read speed, what is the read speed that it showed on the box? Yeah, if you notice, while we were doing the unboxing and when we had the box, I'm just going to read out here, the read speed mentioned was up to 7,000, and the emphasized on the word up to 7400 MB per second. Here it shows a read speed of 6291 MB per second. This is going to be good for your PlayStation 5. Anything lower than that might be an issue, but I think anything above 6000 should be good. So you've got 6291. It says your M.2 SSD has been formatted. To change where your games are installed, go to Settings, Storage, Installation Location. To safely remove your M.2 SSD, turn off your PlayStation 5 first. We don't want to remove our SSD, yeah? I mean, the whole reason why we installed this was because we wanted to make sure that we use it as an internal storage. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to head over to Settings, we're going to go over to Storage, and we're going to change the installation location, yeah? So here you have it, logging in. The first thing that we're going to do is head over to Settings. We're going to go over to Storage. And here you have it. You have, first of all, free space of 1.02 terabyte, clearly stated here. Yeah. So installation location is mentioned here. So now I'm going to change the installation location. I'm going to head over here for PlayStation 5 and apps. What I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to M.2 SSD storage. Here you have it. So I've clearly moved away from the default console storage over to M.2 SSD storage for any new games that I'm going to install. But the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to move some games from my console storage over to my SSD. So for instance, I have God of War, right? So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to move games and apps. So I'm going to head over here and I'm going to move God of War to M.2 SSD storage out here. So let's see how long it takes. Now, just so that you know how big is this file, I'm just going to focus. Sorry for that out of focus shot. This is a total size of 93.86 GB. That's the file size of God of War. So we're going to know how long it takes to move from the console storage over to the new storage now. So I'm going to hit on that move, and as you can see, 93.86 GB is about to be moved. So let's see how long this takes, how long it shows it's going to take. It says 32 seconds left. Now, man, is that fast. Forget any synthetic tests. Now, this is almost 100 gigs. And as you can see, it's going to take less than a minute to transfer over. If you had an external SSD, and if you wanted to move your file from an external SSD to your console storage or vice versa, it would have taken many more minutes. Here, you could probably just open up a clock and see it has transferred almost 100 gigs in less than a minute. And that is phenomenal. Now, this is the speed that I wanted, and this is the speed that I am getting. So the real world performance of transferring files is really fast. Now, how does that affect the game? Does it affect the game? Let's open up and find out. So the main thing that I'm going to look at is how long does it take to load, because does that change my load time from my standard console storage, or I mean, there's no deterioration or there is nothing that is cause for concern here. So I think it's performing really well. I've not done like a comparative analysis for this video, maybe for some other video, but if I go over to the game itself, I think it's loaded up pretty fast. In 3, in 2, in 1, and boom, you're almost in the game. No problem whatsoever. So this has performed really as per my expectations. In fact, the transfer speed from my console storage over to my new SSD storage has been above my expectation. It transferred it really fast, but everything works seamlessly. I'm going to test out a few more games, and I'm probably going to transfer a few more games just to show you what I feel about this. So let's head out. I'm going to do one more transfer for the sake of this video, and I'm going to transfer, let's say, Final Fantasy Remake. This is the PlayStation 5 version, and
Let's see now. Oh, it's still installing. So let's transfer, let's say maybe Marvel Spider-Man 2. Okay, let's move this instead of this. So let's move almost 86.46. So it's 86.5. Well, almost. Let's move this. As you can see, 86.46 GB is about to be transferred. And 43 seconds left, it said, right at the start. And even if you open up a clock, you will notice that this is phenomenally fast. I mean, this is what you would expect from an SSD, which gives you a read speed of over 6000 MB per second. So less than 1 minute, you have 86 gigs transferred. So it frees up all of that console storage, yeah? And that's really good. That's what you ultimately wanted. So now you have a lot of storage that you can take advantage of. Okay, so it's almost transferred it. Yep, boom, it's done. So let's head over to Spider-Man as well and see how long this takes to open up. Now, I'm just sharing my real world experience here. Sony Interactive Entertainment Presence. It was instant. I mean, it was really fast. Boom, yeah, really good. So I'm not editing this video just so that you have a true understanding of how this is performing. I'm really happy. Man, I'm so glad that I bought this. It is only 6,300 rupees here in India, which is very, very good as far as price goes. Let's load this up and see how long this takes to load up. Instant, almost instant. It hardly took any time at all. So, and plus when the game performs, it performs seamlessly. There are no issues, no stutters, nothing. As you can see, ooh, man, it's always fun to swing and glide around the city. Ooh. Okay. And as you can see, everything is working really well. No issues at all. Ooh. Got myself some Spidey action. Take that. And wait a minute, take that. Ooh, nice. Nice, and that's done. So Spider-Man on PlayStation 5 on my new XPG Gammix S70 blade. 1 terabyte, fantastic performance. We're gonna head home and again, let's take a look at all that storage. So I transferred close to 200 gigs worth of games right now. So the console storage has freed up a little, and let's head over to the M.2 SSD storage. I've transferred almost 180 gigs in total, and I've still got 843 gigs of free storage here. But this is what I wanted to show. Hopefully this video has been informative and you've been able to get something out of this video. Again, this is the XPG Gammix S70 blade. This is not a sponsored video. I've purchased this with my own price so that you get the real world experience of your everyday gamer just like you on this video. So let's quickly head over to the outro now.
All right, so that's it for this video, folks. Hopefully, I have been able to share my real world experience effectively, and this video has helped you. If it has, then I would greatly appreciate it if you could hit that like and subscribe button, and also that bell icon in case you want to get notified with all my latest videos. Now, I do put out videos on my gaming channel and on my main channel. I have a couple of them, by the way. The reason why I started a new gaming channel is because I want to post content only in English language on this new gaming channel of mine. Now, I do have another tech channel where I post both English and Hindi tech content mainly, apart from some gaming stuff. So initially, I'm going to probably post the same video on both the channels because I want to keep my faithful subscribers who have been following me for quite a long time just stay updated with what I'm doing. And then slowly over the next few weeks, I want to dedicate English language specific gaming content on this new gaming channel of mine. And there's going to be a mix of tech and gaming on my main channel, which is Babit Singh. You could be watching this video on either one of these channels. In case you are, then I make a lot of videos on both gaming and tech. Feel free to scroll through all my video list, and there's a lot that I have in store for you. And I would greatly appreciate your love and support because that's what keeps my channel going and growing. So keep all your comments or that like, subscribe coming because it helps with the YouTube algorithm. But as far as this video goes, guys, it's a wrap for this one. I'll see you lovely folks in my next video. Until that time, I'll say take care, stay safe, and may God bless you all.